A very good morning and welcome to SMB. I'm Anchi Ubarije. Today is the 8th of November, and of course it's a Tuesday, and it's exactly just 4 minutes. That's past the hour of 7 a.m. It's a fresh morning, it's quite a new day, and definitely majority of the people are just getting to work, let me say that, to pursue those businesses to ensure that there is profitability ensured. And I also officially welcome you to this episode of SMB News Recap as we go through. That's the day's previous news stories that are making headlines that's into the world of business. And of course, to start with, Uganda, we see Uganda launching its first satellite. Uganda has successfully launched its first satellite, that's which will help the nation progress technologically. As of now, November 2022, the PAL Africa Set 1 is in the orbit. And of course, the Minister of Science and Innovations, that's Honorable Monica Msenero, presided over the historic ceremony and thanked the three engineers who helped, and of course, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency build the satellite. Let's have the details.
Yes. Yes. We have launched, we have sent our satellite to space. Our satellite went aboard the rocket which took off, as many of you have witnessed. And it was written there that Uganda's satellite is on board, and the launch was successful.
The PAL Africa Sat-1 satellite was constructed as part of the joint global multinational bird satellite project. Uganda is now one of the numerous African, Asian and South American countries benefiting from the bird satellite initiative, which was launched in 2015 by the Japanese Kyushu Institute of Technology. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, a U.S. government organization, was given control of the satellite when it had completed all necessary tests and was ready for flight into space. The International Space Station is where the satellite was then launched, and it will be there in around 15 hours.
Next, to get to work. Get to work. We need to make sure the Earth Station is ready. We have made a lot of progress. The installation of the equipment which we got and preparing such that by the time it is actually deployed in the orbit and starts sending information, our station here is ready. Secondly, get to work to make sure that the structure of the program, how it is going to be, the components, it is going to have a lot of components. We have security components, we have civilian components, we have data to collect, we have analysis of data, we have to develop the business plan, because this is not only going...
When we are developing the satellite, we define missions. So the most important mission for the satellite was on how we can contribute to Uganda's economy. And the backbone of Uganda's economy is agriculture. So we defined the first primary mission for the satellite towards the agriculture sector.
The satellite was created by three Ugandan engineers, Edgar Mujuni, Boni Omara and Derek Tebusweke, who are enrolled at the Kyushu Institute of Technology in Japan after signing a collaboration agreement with the Ugandan government in 2019. They point to flaws in Uganda's education system as a barrier to innovation.
How long has it taken me? Approximately, we started the whole journey from April 2020 up to this year 2022 when we handed over to JAXA. So I could say approximately maybe 18 months.
The PAL Africa Sat-1 will offer research and observation data in 6 main areas, including weather forecast, land, water and mineral mapping, monitoring of agriculture, infrastructure development, border security and disaster preparedness.
Many agencies in Uganda are going to be beneficiaries of the data. We have the Minister of Agriculture is going to be a beneficiary in planning our agricultural production. The Minister of Minerals, Energy and Minerals is going to be a very immediate beneficiary. The Minister of Water is going to be an immediate beneficiary. Disaster preparedness, security, defense, they are all going to be immediate beneficiaries from this program.
In this case, is agricultural fields. We want to see and classify the soil according to its type and the fertility level. That is our area of interest. We want to perform what we call property mapping. I heard it over the media that we are digitizing the land title and all that. How is this being done? We have the satellite images. We know that your piece of plot starts from point A to point Z. So we map that, we highlight it, and we tag that to your names. If you sell, the transfer can be easily done.
One of the engineers, Edgar Mujuni, assures Ugandans that compliance to government rules would be monitored.
Mapping and exploration. We can be able to tell that, okay, in this area we have this deposit of iron core or this gold and things like that. And then we do not only stop at, identifying where these minerals are located. We can move ahead and also try to determine how much, the quantity, how big is it, so that we can know that, we can know and project that probably in the next 50 years, the government can depend on this mineral.
Honorable Matia Kasaija, the Minister for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, stated earlier this year that a ground station in Impoma district of Mukono in central Uganda will receive data from this satellite. This satellite's data will be utilized, among other things, in meteorology, environmental monitoring, and urban planning. As a result, the government acknowledges that research serves as both a vehicle and catalyst for all other sectors' progress.
That's Uganda right there, joining the rest of the world into the space exploration. And of course, quite a lot of benefits are anticipated as a result of the satellite. And one of them is detecting weather and also the aspect of detecting storms, disasters, what we can call as disasters, simply because this will be very beneficial to the economy. And of course, it will also enable the farmers be in position to know when to plant the right seeds. Remember, we shall be in position to get our forecast straight, of course, from the satellite, and quite so many other benefits that are related to that. So you can see that's what we really anticipate in the future. You see that? And of course, a big thanks to the engineers that were sent to the Higher Institute of Learning, that's in Japan, to come up and develop this satellite. There were 3 engineers, actually, they were graduates in this country, Uganda, and they were chosen to go and build this satellite. So a big achievement to the nation of Uganda as we join the rest of the world into the world of space exploration. And probably there will be more opportunities regarding space exploration in the future, as students definitely in Uganda will be in position to go to those other countries and get exposed. And probably there is a possibility, you never know, time to come, as Uganda we can actually have the space exploration school, a school where space engineers are trained within this country, Uganda. So that's quite a great achievement. All right, now away from that, let's head to export labor. In August 2005, President Yoweri Museveni unveiled the employment legislation outlining the steps that job seekers, recruiting firms, and government should take to implement the labor export. Stakeholders raised awareness of the value of labor exports to the economy. Let's have the details.
Labor export refers to labor service exports as assessed by worker remittances. Additionally, it aims to increase employment possibilities, safeguard workers' rights, and outline key procedures for licensing employment firms that will export job seekers from Uganda. The money that comes from many nations to process passports, support training, and allow transfers from workers abroad gives the Ugandan government foreign earnings.
The labor externalization sector or labor migration sector in Uganda contributes huge sums of money to the economy, and majorly through the foreign earning. And the foreign earning comes in based on the bilateral labor agreement. For example, the government of Uganda signed, but even those who are taken to work in other countries. For those that go to Saudi Arabia, where the Ugandan government has a bilateral labor agreement, the bilateral was signed based on the international labor standard, which is the employer pays principle. The employer pays principle requires you, the employer, to pay the recruitment process of the person you're going to employ. And this brings in the $1,100 that we normally speak about that the government of Uganda negotiated.
Companies that export labor have criticized gaps in the government oversight of this industry, claiming that these gaps have rendered their operations ineffective. However, various variables contribute to the labor concerns made by the exported workers. Stakeholders provide guidance on how to address these obstacles.
We have some of us in our homes who mistreat our domestic workers, and there are some of those that treat them well. So it's the same thing, but generally, I discourage those that are working as domestic workers, or if you have to come and work as a domestic worker, come on an unemployment visa when you already have a signed contract, because the law will protect you. In the UAE, if you are there legally, they have very stringent rules and regulations pertaining the relationship between the employer and the employee. So for skilled labor, like now, out of the projected 100,000 Ugandans living and working in UAE, 95% are doing skilled jobs, professional jobs. That's why the remittances have increased from $50 million in 2018 to about $200 million apparent.
Ideally, all these will face different reasons, different challenges. But to be specific to the ones in the Middle East, those that have gone through what we call regular migration or legal processes, when you look at the numbers that I've given you, for example, in Saudi Arabia, we have over 165,000 Ugandans there. You will register a complaint. You will have people who cannot work well with the employers. And when you look at most of the people we take who are going to work in homes as a category of domestic workers, the nature of that office, a home, will always have challenges, just like it is here. But what is important to note is that there are mechanisms that we put in place to be able to give assistance to these distressed Ugandans. And though a lot needs to be, of course, done, which includes monitoring by the government of Uganda, but at that level, even the companies, individual companies, have gone ahead to deploy what we call supervisors.
Out in a shift in the situation, the export labor agencies are required to have only Ugandan directors, 50 million Ugandan shillings in the bank, and requirements for each employee. Given the high percentage of unemployment and underemployment, this should be excellent news for all Ugandans.
As a country, first of all, we should focus more on externalizing skilled or professional labor, because they are someone, first of all, the pay is high. Number two, you find that they work in public places, so the companies are governed by international law, international standards and rules, like on protection of human rights, the image and the rest. But for domestic workers, yes, I would say that there are those employers who employ domestic workers and are good.
Export labor is increasingly seen as the most profitable way of global trading, with less investment and more money in the country through remittances. For many years, many Ugandans have gone abroad for work in vain, but they are advised to go under the employment visa, such that in case of any challenges faced, the law can protect them.
That stakeholders in the labor export industry are raising awareness of the value of the labor export. So, and also putting up why the labor export, what are the criteria that should be really put into consideration as we engage in the labor export. All right, now away from that, let's head to police withdrawal. That's from the various parts of the country. The withdrawal of police stations from the various parts of the country has alarmed the lawmakers, particularly those from the central region, who say that leaving people on their own will lead to a rise in crime. Let's have the report.
After the recent attack on the Usika police post in Awero district, it is unclear why police are removing their patrols from the various parts of the nation. As a result of the recent police operation, the legislators, particularly those from the impacted areas, have raised alarm stating that it is now obvious that their constituents and their companies have been left on their own.
My concern is the security of the people, because the mandate of the police is in Article 212 of the Constitution. The functions of the police is to protect the people first and their property. Now, if the police is attacked and the police decides to run away, I don't know the local people are remaining with the who, because I will not use a simpler word. I will use the word running away, because they are giving the reason that since they are attacked, they have to go away. I don't know which better word I can use other than running away. So if the police is running away from its duty, that simply means in English abdication. If they are abdicating on their duty, they are actually working in contravention of the Constitution.
Over time, the crime rate has been increasing. The crime rate in Uganda is not decreasing any one day. It's very unfortunate, and very unfortunate that today they are closing police posts. First and foremost, we have to get information, or we have to get details as to why they put these police stations in the first place. What are they doing? What are they doing? What is the problem? Is it the expense of these police posts that has become a problem? Why exactly are we seeing this closure?
According to legislators, Parliament spent over 840 billion shillings, with a portion of that money going towards purchasing patrol cars and other crime-fighting equipment. However, police posts continue to be attacked, and to make matters worse, the police have resorted to retreating from such regions.
Got the appropriation of the budget as they requested. We also catered for those police posts, including payment of their rents. I don't know now what they are going to use that money for, because the budget was inclusive of paying rent even for those police posts. Now, if you withdraw and run away, what is that money going to do? The IGP has not come out to inform the country exactly why they took a decision like that.
Honorable Umu says that criminals are now aware that police has left their areas and that the locals worry their businesses are at risk, and so they cannot sleep at night because of the fact that there is no police to protect them.
A few days ago, one resident of Mityana South called Matumbwe was raided by some gang, and was cut, was hurt, simply because the thieves, the criminals are aware that the police is now not there, so they can do in any way they please. I can give you an example. From Sekanyonyi, where the police post was withdrawn, the nearest now is Busonjo, which is 9 kilometers away. The other one, which is near to that one, is again another 9 kilometers away, which is in Namungo.
Samlanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
That's the members of parliament are demanding the explanation for the closure of the different police stations, and definitely also the lawmakers and other people, that the stakeholders that are into this particular industry, most especially looking at the business industry. They're also in the worry. Remember, where there is security, definitely business blossoms. All right, now we come to the end of the news recap this morning as we look at farmers living in poverty. Agriculture contributed roughly 24.1% of the gross domestic product and 33% of export revenue. That's in the fiscal year 2021-2022. According to the UBOS, agriculture employs over 70% of Uganda's working population. However, it is still said that 2/3, that's of the population, of those who work in agriculture are still considered to be living in poverty. Let's have the details.
In order to end household poverty, President Yoweri Museveni has urged youth and the nation at large to participate in commercial agro production and value addition. However, many Ugandans have so far been unable to add value to their products for a variety of reasons, most notably lack of funding.
The sensitization, first of all, we have to work on mindset change. Our farmers must know that we can no longer live tradition. We must move with the times. We must change our technologies. The technologies, people have also the adoption of the technologies. As a research organization, we've developed technology, but uptake, how fast they are taking the technologies is also another area that we need to address serious. As a sector that employs over 70% of the population is not well funded. When you look at the national budget, agriculture is not having the biggest share in the national budget. But we hope that the leaders will look at this, since this is a sector that employs most of the Ugandans, then we can improve on the funding so that we push more money into agriculture and we shall be able to improve on the people's lives.
The amount government allocated to the agriculture industry in the financial year 2022-2023 was 1.45 trillion, indicating a 13.2% decrease from the 1.64 trillion in the previous financial year 2021-2022. Value adding is crucial for farmers since it provides a plan for turning a loss-making business into a successful one. In reality, there are relatively few goods that a small farmer in Uganda can produce and sell profitably at the first level, which is why NARO developed a variety of high-yielding crops and places strong emphasis on commercializing value addition.
The mandate is to conduct agricultural research, so we develop superior varieties, cassava varieties, maize varieties, and when I say superior, it means they are high-yielding, they are resistant to pests and diseases, they are tolerant to drought, so they are climate smart. So when it comes to the value addition bit, NARO is pushing the commercialization aspect of everything, and we encourage, or we add value to products and our commodities by commercializing them.
Numerous problems including soil depletion, crop illness that are incurable, climate change, a rapidly growing population, and land fragmentation are faced by agriculture sector. The easiest way to handle this is to increase the value on organic products without reducing their original nutritional content.
Well, that's regarding the farmers living in poverty. All right, we've come to the end of the news recap this morning. It's exactly 28 minutes past the hour of 7 a.m. at this particular time. Let's get into a short commercial break. Definitely we'll return with the press review, head straight to the international news, and wind up the hour with the business tips and quotes. Good morning. Stick around.